Hello, my dear students. How are you? Hope that all of you are fine and safe at your home and you continue your study properly. It is Subrin Suprity, lecturer, Department of Biology. Today I will discuss some topics from chapter 2 and chapter 2 is Water for Life. Today's topics are quality water parameter, recycling of water and role of water in conservation of environment, purification of water. Water quality parameter. Water is very valuable natural resources. It is a habitat for aquatic flora and fauna, which are very important components of our environment. Water is also used for irrigation. Moreover, mariners, boatmen, and people who are in a similar profession depend on water for drinking and other purposes. So, if the quality of water is not maintained, it will not only be threatening for the environment or biodiversity. The quality of water depends on the purposes for which water is to be used. At first, we will find out the required quality of water of river, canal, bills, and seas. Color and taste. Pure water is colorless and odorless. Natural surface water in rivers, canals, and lakes should be colorless and tasteless to sustain aquatic lives. There is a glass of water we can see. Now I will tell turbidity. Turbid water could be harmful to aquatic flora and fauna because turbid water hinders the penetration of sunlight, resulting in reduced photosynthesis of aquatic plants. As a result, growth of the aquatic plants is hampered. Moreover, in turbid water, fish and other aquatic animals suffer from problems related to food collection. Question: how does water become turbid? Okay, water becomes turbid due to the presence of insoluble substance like soil, sand, oil, grease, etc. If soil and sand increase significantly, at a stage they settle down as sediment of the bottom of the river. As a result, navigability decreases, resulting in a huge problem for the water vehicles like ships, launches, boats, etc. Presence of radioactive substance. Radioactive substance is very dangerous. The presence of radioactive substance in the water of rivers and canals can cause dangerous diseases like cancer in aquatic biota. Therefore, river water should be free from radioactive substances. Presence of waste. Surface water must be free of waste materials because waste materials may produce infectious microorganisms and that may cause disaster for aquatic biota. Dissolved oxygen. Aquatic fauna get oxygen from water, where oxygen is present as a dissolved gas. If the level of dissolved oxygen in water is reduced, it results in respiratory problem. In fact, aquatic fauna cannot survive without dissolved oxygen. It is to be noted that the minimum level of dissolved oxygen required for sustaining life in water bodies in 5 mg per liter. Temperature. Temperature is an important water quality parameter. The increase of temperature in water results in reduced amount of dissolved oxygen in one hand. On the other hand, starting from hatching, many physiological processes of aquatic animals fall into trouble. There is a chart we can see when temperature is 0 degrees Celsius, solubility of oxygen milligram per liter 14.6. When temperature is 20 degrees Celsius, oxygen 9.08, temperature 25 degrees Celsius, oxygen 8.24, temperature 40 degrees Celsius, oxygen 6.41, temperature 50 degrees Celsius, oxygen 5.49. Okay. Now I am telling you about pH. pH is a very important quality parameter. pH is a parameter which we can easily evaluate whether a water sample is neutral, acidic or alkaline. For neutral water, pH is 7. Usually surface water is alkaline. It is found from research that a pH range of 6 to 8 is suitable for sustaining aquatic biota. If pH value alters significantly, it results in huge damage to aquatic lives. Fish eggs and newly hatched fishes are very sensitive to pH. Highly acidic condition of water, for example, very low pH of water, extracts important elements like leading to calcium leading to deformation to aquatic biota. There we can see a picture that is a neutral pH 7, that is distilled water, and acidic and alkaline. Salinity. Do you know why our national fish Hilsa moves to fresh water during spawning? Although Hilsa is a sea fish, it moves to fresh water for spawning because sea water is saline. For example, it contains huge amount of salt which sterilizes fish eggs. As a result, those fish eggs cannot produce young fish. But there are some aquatic fauna, including certain species, of which can spawn in water of high salinity. Hilsa moves to fresh water for spawning. There is a picture we can see that adult mature Hilsa fish lives in brackish water, and adult premature lives in sea water, and Jatka, that is lives in fresh water. Recycling of water and role of water in conservation of environment. Do you think that water is being recycled naturally? Water from surface evaporates daytime with the help of sunlight and enters into the atmosphere as vapors, which goes upwards and at a stage condense into cloud and finally comes back as rainwater. This recycling of water is very important because disruption of this recycling of water could lead to droughts or floods, which in turn decrease the food production, and eventually long-term droughts might turn the whole earth into a desert. Precipitation is a kind of natural recycling of water. Water obtained after being used, for example, wastewater, can be collected, treated, and used again. The whole process can be considered as recycling of water. Role of water in conservation of nature. As all the components and process of the environment depend on water directly or indirectly, so water is essential for a sustainable environment. If there were no water, plant would not grow. There will be no food production and or existence. For example, the whole environment will be destroyed. Necessity of quality water. We do in our daily life, we need to use water. Starting from taking bath to cooking food, we need water. If this water is not of good quality, we have to face a lot of troubles. Surface water in several districts in south part of Bangladesh has become saline, and residents in those areas have been suffering from severe lack of fresh water. They cannot utilize surface water for drinking and other purposes. So, They have to collect rainwater and use it after purification. If the drinking water is not of good quality, particularly if it contains disease causing germs, it may lead to severe public health problems. We cannot use seawater in industry or agriculture because high salinity of seawater corrodes the equipment such as boiler used in industry. Similarly, most of our crops cannot grow in saline water. After all, we can say that starting from industrial use to agriculture and in our daily works, supply of good quality water is very essential. Otherwise, it may cause health problem in one hand and it may hamper us economically on the other. Purification of water. Surface water may contain harmful substances including toxic chemicals and photogenic microorganisms. So whatever the sources, it must be purified before use. Groundwater is normally germ free, but we all know about the presence of harmful chemicals like arsenic in this water. Methods of purification water depend on the purpose of using water. As usual, although very pure water is required for drinking, such pure water is not required for irrigation. The methods that are involved in water purification usually are filtration, chlorination, boiling, distillation, etc. They are discussed below. Filtration. Filtration is a process to separate solid substance from a mixture of solid and liquid substances. Usually, water contains insoluble dust or soil particles or waste materials which are removed by filtration. For that, water is passed through a layer of sand which traps that solid particles present in water. In addition to sand, finely woven cloths can be used for this purpose. The modern filters used in residence are made of quality materials. There is a picture of modern filters. Chlorination. Disease-causing microorganisms in water are killed by disinfectants. Chlorine gas, bleaching powder, and other chlorine-containing compounds are also used for this. Sodium hypochlorite tablets used for water purification during flood. Other than chlorine, germs can also be destroyed by ozone gas or ultraviolet radiation. In the bottled water factories, water is disinfected by these methods. Boiling. There is a sodium hypochlorite tablets we can see. Boiling of water can kill germs present in water. After starting the boiling, heating for additional 15 to 20 minutes can disinfect water completely. It is a simple and economical process for purifying drinking water at home. Okay, there is a bleaching powder. We can see sodium hypochlorite solution and chlorine gas. All these are used for water purification, and that is chlorination. And there is a we can see how boil the water. Distillation. When very pure water is needed, water is purified by distillation method. For example, to manufacture medicine or to carry out chemical reactions, 100% pure water is needed. In this method, basically water taken in a container is heated to vapor, which is condensed and collected in another container. The possibility of having other substances in water purified by this method is very low. Okay, that was our There is our science class. Your HW is describe the importance of water quality parameter, write necessity of quality water, what do you mean by filtration and chlorination, what do you mean by boiling and distillation. Okay, thank you for watching, and you must submit your SW to your subject teacher. Goodbye.